And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I am Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desires to help connect amazing designers with great players who love their games and amazing players with great designers whose games they can love. And we do that in a number of different ways, but hands down, the most fun way is to sit down with those designers and play their games. Tonight is no different. And this is a creator who I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't had on before, but I'm super excited to have Justin here with us, talking a little bit and getting a chance to play Sister, a new Mothership miniatures tactical death puzzle. I won't try to remember what Sister stands for, but maybe Justin will tell us. Justin, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about Sister.
Hey, Justin Sirois of Severed Books. I want to give George Holland a shout out before I get too far, the co-creator and writer of Sister. So SIS/TR. Sister is the Starborn Invasion System / Turret Regenerator. I have the cube sample right here. This is the face, and then there's different mode sides. And there is a very fun rear end that does special stuff. We'll get into that later. But long story short, this cube is an interactive mini puzzle that also comes with, where are my turrets? I think one of my sons might have taken the turrets.
There is a big one on the screen, I think, stacked on top of it next to us, just FYI.
Okay.
But
cool. Well, yeah. So, and then there's these smaller D6 turrets that also have stats that go on top when they activate. And that's the short of it. We have Sean McCoy creating a turret, Brian Evanson creating a turret. So there's a lot of opportunities for customization and having like guest creators collaborate on Sister to make it their own. George, do you want to add anything?
I mean, insofar as yeah, I mean, I think it's it's kind of a fun novel way to like kind of hold people's attention at the middle of the table, but also there's like and it definitely has that sort of like arm flapping like murder bot like retro fantasy feel, a retro sci-fi feel rather, that is I don't know, I think it embodies that pretty well, and
Awesome.
And I like it, yeah.
Sweet. George, you want to tell people a little bit about who you are, what you do?
Oh, my name's George Holland, and I've done some RPG work on a couple other things in the past. I've always been a freelancer. I've never really been with any one particular company overly long, except for Severed Books is pretty much the only route that I write through now. And I've done like a few mechanical things and some like conversion sheets and things along those lines in the past, but Sister is the first like larger project that I've worked on.
Cool. We're glad to have both of you here with us for the first time. A face that a lot of people are familiar with that I don't get to see enough, even though I get to see it a couple times a week. We've got Jert serving as our warden tonight. Jert, you want to tell people a little about who you are, what you do, and where people can find you online?
You did it, Tony. You broke me. I'm Jert, and I am co-owner of Space Penguin Inc. LLC with my lovely partner, Debbie. And I help make RPGs and games and stuff, and there's a bunch on the shelves there. And yeah, I'm going to edit this one with ECU, and I'm really stoked. I spent about 4 hours really diving deep into it today, which is something I'm making a habit of these days with stuff I'm working on and collaborating with. I'm really starting to get into, just full on deep dives with stuff early, so we can break it, because we're going to break it.
Love it. And people can find you online.
You can find me online on Discord. I ruined it. No, Tony is like, get on Twitter. Yeah. So at Space Penguin Inc., and that's SPI or capitalized. At Space Penguin Inc.
Awesome. I love it. If I knew how to spell penguin, if I knew how to spell penguin white, it would be even easier.
I haven't posted a tweet yet. I haven't followed anyone, and maybe people will follow me now. It means I guess I got to post a tweet sometime next week. That was the plan, was to do it next week, but surprise.
Let's see if I'm your first follower. I'm your first follower. I'm number one.
I'm not gonna follow you back.
I'm number one. Please don't. I'll just yell at you across the void. Awesome. I'm looking forward to playing tonight. Always love when you get a chance to play Mothership. Always love when we get a chance to play a new game. I'm a big Severed Books fan also too. Hey Hessen, good to see you in the chat. Also too, as always, if anybody's out there watching now or later, let us know who you are and where you're watching from. But with that said, we always use a couple different tools when we are playing online to keep us all on the same page and keep everybody at the table comfortable. Those are usually lines, veils, and the X card, unless the system dictates otherwise. We also use an open door policy that we'll talk about too. But lines are things that are off limits in our play of the game. They are things that may happen in the world of the game but don't come up in our play of it. Veils are things that may happen in our course of play, but they're handled in a specific situation. We may just mention they're happening in flash forward. We may only approach them in a certain light. They're things that we just want to treat with care as we come up on them. The X card is the ability for anybody at any point in time to say X or just say pause. We pause the game. We identify what the issue is. It could just be confusion. It could be, hey, I don't like this. We'll remove that content. No explanation is necessary, and move forward in a different direction. We also, like I said, have an open door policy, which means that you may see us get up, talk to somebody off camera, eat, drink, do normal human things, because we're mostly normal human beings. If you're a mostly normal human being, you should do those things also when you need to. With that said, we have a strong line against sexual violence and sexual coercion on the channel. Does anybody have any other lines or veils that they want to add? They would like to be off limits for the stream. Cool.
Good.
All right.
Good for me. We discussed some earlier, and yeah.
Reese Carter says Jert isn't a human being.
Reese Carter isn't Woo!
Well, with that said, Jert, I'm going to hand things over to you to take us. Where are we going? Where are we going?
To space. We are going to space aboard the dropship McGillicuddy. You've been sent by Campudor Corporation. Shout out to Amanda, she's watching. To answer a distress signal from the Vespucci 7. Vespucci 7's captain. Oh, I turned too many pages. Justin. Xander Zamiri last posted 24 hours ago, and you all are close enough, as Campudor Corp employees, because it's the future and everybody works for Campudor Corp. So yeah, they get you outfitted and a drop ship, and it is zooming in, and it's going to dock at the aft of the Vespucci in the big old cargo loading bay. But while we're flying in, y'all take turns and introduce your characters. Everybody talk at once.
Yay. By the way, before we get any farther, I did forget the link that'll take you directly to the Kickstarter for this great project is right below all of our beautiful faces. That's ttrpg.link /sistrks, like sister without an E. SISTRKS will take you right there. It's also in the description of the video also. We see Doshi Edelstein, where we often see Doshi, and that's jacked into to the mainframe, helping kind of with some of the astro navigation. But you can also tell playing a video game on one of the sub screens down below, and they're having a really rough time of it. In all honesty, they're not doing too well on their side space game.
Are you playing Suikoden? It's just hard.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I like a challenge.
We have Marcus Kippenberger, classic Teamster. I have a half-smoked Mastodon cigarette that has gone out, but I just keep it in my mouth just to have it there, and patiently waiting to see how this vessel is being docked. I'm a little nervous about our approach.
And Otis Fenster stands on the boarding platform with in his lab coat. His shirt's unkempt, his pants are wrinkled. He's got sort of a clammy accumulation of beaded sweat on his forehead, and he seems to be trying to lock eyes with anybody who can give him better instruction. But he just kind of marches in line.
So yeah,
I was looking at two other things while y'all both said your characters' names. Will you say them again? I was Doshi.
I am Marcus Kippenberger. You can call me Kip.
Kip. Good to know. And then George, what was your character's name again?
Otis Finster.
All right, cool.
And so yeah, Marcus was a little worried that flying in like that in the McGillicuddy, I mean, it's a bucket, these little ships, and it's totally on autopilot, even though Doshi thinks that they're running this ship. It's totally on autopilot, and
that's why I was only helping with astro navigation,
right,
and really that's what I tell people when I want to go play my game. I'm gonna go help with astro navigation.
Yeah. So there's a little port windows on your ship, and starboard little sides. There's no front window. It's weird. I don't know. I just made the ship up, this little drop ship. They're called tin cans for a reason, and it flies in, and it's odd that usually on an exploration like research vessel of the Vespucci size, the cargo bay airlock would not be open, but it is wide open, and the McGillicuddy, it kind of rolls itself and sets itself inside. So this chamber here, metal pipes, tubes. I'm apologizing to Justin and George because I'm just getting to riff on what you have written down here, and if you're like, what the fuck is he talking about, just go with it. It's okay. So the floor has those big safety warnings, the yellow and black stripes and stuff like that. Don't stand in these corners and corridors. There's a lot of effluvia, a lot of fluids, water, like steam pressure and stuff like that, kind of going off, which is not really normal on a properly functioning research vessel. But the McGillicuddy slides itself like right in and sits down. And usually manually, these airlock doors, like you gotta crank it like it's a human situation, but not in this case. They just close themselves behind them. Tony, is it okay if I put up the map now?
Yep, you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, show tab, not tab, show window.
Make your computers roll.
Computers. Did it just change everybody's names?
No, it did everything it was supposed to do. It worked seamlessly, almost as if we would plan it in advance.
Okay. So yeah, you all, your automatic safety harnesses, click, 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 unlatch. The McGillicuddy goes into low power mode. What do you want to do?
Well, what was the distress signal like? What did we hear before we got on the ship?
Is that in here?
No, you got to
not in here. You're making me make it up. It was I got you. They don't play back the message to you. They're just they're mostly okay. I'm failing. Start over, Jarrett. They don't usually play the full-on message for you. You just know that it's just a job. Okay. But they did say that they were having some comms issues and they were having some power fluctuation issues that they couldn't quite control.
So this was generic distress call number 23B, power fluctuations and engine issues.
Yep.
Great.
Easy.
It's all fairly routine with Campidor Corporation. So.
Well, I'm gonna get out of the McGillicuddy, and are the lights on in the loading dock?
So it's all like there's some steam. There's a little bit of it's like low light, like emergency type situation.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the thing where I try to look around for a way to hook up our ship to their ship for a power exchange. I'm looking for that big thick cable on the ground that I can haul in to try to boost the power to this area.
Oh yeah.
As you do.
Yeah. So you got some sort of what do you got? You got skill wise? You know what you're doing, or
yeah,
you're just being?
I have industrial equipment.
Gotcha.
As a skill.
Cool. You do. You find a nice big old loop. Jack it in. And you hear, and it's almost like it just the rest of the McGillicuddy, because it was going on low power, it just goes completely dark, cold, like HVA, life support, everything in the McGillicuddy is just completely off. Like it's just drained it, like zoop.
Shit.
I'm gonna sort of just reluctantly hang behind a little bit and sort of in a completely half-ass fashion try to find looking around possibly for traces of other personnel anywhere, if anything looks like if there's any panels that are lit up that would have only been lit up from recent contact, and also just kind of keeping an eye out for I'm looking around, but I really don't want to find anything.
Sure, yeah. So there's no noticeable traces like a human's been here recently. There's a couple of hoverboards. There's like these souped up dirt bike things with they have mounts on them for wilderness exploration, to deal with local flora and fauna and stuff like that. There's a busted up escape pod. It looks like it's been cut in half, professionally cut in half, and there's somebody's making a still out of it or something. There's all kinds of copper tube and shit. What else? It's a loading dock on a ship, so there's tools, and everything is all in webbing on the wall, so it's not going to go rattling around during takeoff and landing and stuff like that. There's 3 doors. I can actually make the doors. Oh, look, I made the doors appear already. One of them is clear. This right here is clear glass. It kind of looks into an office. Again, it's fairly low light. When Doshi hooked up the power coupling cable, the rest of the ship kind of it almost breathed, it inhaled, like pumped blood for just a quick second, and you can kind of see through the dingy gray plexiglass into there. Common knowledge, Teamster knows that that's where the shipping manifests and kind of all that stuff is at. Manual controls for the airlock, all kinds of fancy office supplies if you're into that, and then the main door goes into the rest of the ship, and then there's also a side door to the south.
Okay.
So I don't know if I had much. Did I have any? I just jumped out of the ship. Can I do anything else?
Yeah. Oh, you can do whatever you want.
All right. I would like to go up to the office window. I have my SMG kind of ready to rock. I look inside the glass and kind of elbow the glass and say is anybody in there? Hey, anybody?
Yeah. And your elbow, you kind of, when you bounce it off plexiglass, just a little bit of ow. But yeah, no response, no voice, nobody.
Okay. So that's all I do. But I also I point my gun at the west door just in case something is gonna.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's pretty dark. Are you looking in? You opening the door into the office type sort of situation?
Yeah, I'd like to try the door to the office.
Yeah. You try the door and you feel it bump.
Okay.
Against something.
I asked for Otis to come on over, give me a little backup. I'm gonna open this door. I'm gonna kind of just does it open in or out?
The door opens in on this one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it kind of bumped against something in the dark, and you're just kind of oh, what is that? You got a flashlight on you?
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna kick with one good kick while I'm trying to cover myself.
Cool.
Otis, are you behind me? Otis.
What? Yeah. But
get behind me, man.
all right, I step behind him and I distract myself with the settings on my diagnostic scanner and try not to make eye contact with any eyes that are potentially in that doorway.
Well, there are eyes, but they're dead. Lying on the floor in Campiador blue, so you know that she was they were a mid-level officer. You can make out a humanoid femme-presenting body on the floor, name tag Windsor, and both wrists are slit, and she's lying there in a pool of very, very congealed blood of her own blood. So you probably both need to make fear saves for me. And Doshi, you're still out, like
That's
wandering
why
around in
I
the
don't
dark.
open doors. Yeah, I've actually gone over to inspect the
saw you.
still and the tools.
42.
What's your
Yeah, I have
fear
failed.
thing?
I failed.
You
it.
failed.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you're both just like, oh fuck. So you both take a stress.
Okay.
You take one stress. Remember you start at 2, so now you're at 3. I'm just making notes. Over at the still, Tony, you're like, wow, if we had some power and some ethanol, we could make some bathtub gin or spaceship gin.
Okay, so they were in process. They hadn't made any actual gin, or they hadn't made any alcohol yet.
Like today, anyway. So what do you two want to do what do you want to do in that office? Like, you can push the body out of the way, further investigate.
I would like to drag the body out into the larger room and then
search
the office.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
go ahead.
head in behind him and albeit obviously no longer living, I'm gonna use my med scanner to see if there was anything else detectable that caused the death aside from the visible marks of
No, she took herself in. The Campiador Corp does keep good records of all of their crew. So you actually have a manifest of everyone aboard. A quick check of that runs down because it's probably loaded into your med scanner. Look at me making connections here. This is Windsor, and oh man, I need to just have this one page open in front of me. She actually corporate liaison, and you can kind of run it down. Multiple degrees in business analysis, commerce regulations. She's fairly young. No history of like psych issues, eval. So whatever happened here is not very pretty. And then Justin, Marcus is looking around in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping manifest, cargo permits. There is a computer that is networked to the ship's main systems.
Yeah, I'll try to access that.
Okay, are you good at that sort of thing?
No.
Okay, so you're just gonna type in password, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you should probably check your intelligence.
All right. I passed barely.
Oh, so it was password 1234. I like when that happens. So this one, like I said, it is everything on Campiador ships. They're very hardwired and closed systems, except for outboard comms. But yeah, you can actually talk to the rest of the ship.
Gosh. I will. Does that mean I'm doing like a grocery store style like announcement, or how is that exactly going to work?
Yeah, you can. There's. Are you skilled? You're not skilled at this at all. So yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're just like, logging in password 123 and hitting that fucking that intercom, hitting that toggle like
Bing bong bing.
Yeah, I think
adventure.
I think I hit the button and then I pause, and I really don't want to say anything. I'm scared to say too much to the entire ship.
Okay. Yeah.
I turn to Otis, like, and gesture, like, do you want to say anything? Like,
I'm gonna just sort of out of pure just impulse of being told what to do. I walk over, pick up the intercom, and crew of the Vespucci, and then I kind of look around and survey Yoshi and Marcus's faces to see what goes next.
my half of my cigarette just falls onto the floor, and I shut down the computer.
Okay. And as you are flicking turning it off, the lights everywhere, like in that loading dock, come on, like full bright lights. The lights in the office, full bright lights. And over the intercom coming back to you, you hear "Zoobly zoo, zoobly zoo, magic and wonder is waiting for you," and it just like playing on loop, very, 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 very loudly, and getting louder and getting louder.
Please disconnect the music.
Is this something we recognize from like corporate culture, or is this something like, is it a jingle we recognize?
It's some fantastic old Earth. If you're aficionado of PBS,
yeah.
If not, write that down as an aficionado of PBS on your skills.
Wait,
we're not playing Troika.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I've been out looking at the still. It didn't have anything in it. I went to go over and look at the tools to see if there's any actually helpful tools over there.
Yeah, for like you type like wrenches to like throw through speakers and stuff.
That would be great. I was looking for like a cutter or anything like that also too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's a standard exploration ship. Like
Sweet.
nothing seems to be missing. Nothing seems to be out of place. If that makes sense. Here.
Good to know. Yeah, I'll pan a ranch over at the speaker in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I rolled a hit just for fun.
Just for fun.
roll under combat.
I rolled a 13.
Yeah, and right through that.
Hold on. I always forget that my D100 and my D20 button are flopped. I still rolled underneath my combat.
Okay. Was it a critical?
It was not a crit.
Okay. So yeah, you throw that wrench up there, and the volume decreases, and it seems like it's it's like it's magnetic tape, like it's getting slower.
I've solved the problem out here.
I am so freaked that as I'm running out of the office, my left arm swipes the computer, that goes off the desk, and I basically walk right over Windsor, and she's like a wet banana peel, and I step on her slit wrist and just head over heels, crack my head on the floor. That's how triggered I am from Zoobly Zoo. I think the bird character, that female character, just like in my mind is just too much.
Tragic. I mean, I wasn't going to make you fall, but okay. Cool. So what do we want to do now?
I do not think it was wise to turn on the music.
I'm really not liking it to being holed up in this cargo hold. I'd really like to get to a more stable environment.
Is the layout of this ship fairly corporate standard, or is it a unique? Does it seem to be unique in any way, shape, or form?
No, it's a more recent model. Like you kind of know basic setup.
Okay.
Whole thing.
Perhaps we should move towards the crew quarters to see if anybody is still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. You know that the crew quarters on ships like the Vespucci are usually on the port and starboard side of the ship. And one of this size has, what is it? 1, 2, 5, what? It's 10 regular crew rooms, and then captain and first mate's quarters.
All right.
So in your case, that would be going through the door to the west and then heading north or south.
Then I'm going to head towards the door on the west, and I'm going to head space south. As I come out.
What does that mean?
I mean, you said south, but we're in space, so it doesn't technically make sense. I assume you mean down on the screen.
I do mean down, but yes. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Tony.
I do know what you're talking about.
Space south.
I'll stack up behind Ushi.
Okay.
Yeah, I am as well.
So, coming out in this hallway, over to the space west, you see, that's that light gray. That's more plexiglass, more clarity, and you can see just fully into the whole dining area here. Through there, and they've got lighting fixtures, railing type stuff in the ceiling, and they've got plants hanging off of it and growing. It's you don't want to be too far away from actual living things besides other humans while you're in space, right? And one of the safest places aboard a ship, you can have that sort of stuff in a dining hall. And then, like you said, you're heading space south, right?
Yeah. I mean, if we see, what do we see in the? You said
Cool.
is the space in front of us open? Then, can we see into that space?
Yeah, it's like plexiglassed in, right?
Right. And do we see anyone in there? And are the lights? I guess are the lights up here or the lights down here?
The lights are a very similar level to what you had. It's there it is. So the ceiling is kind of domed,
Mm-hmm.
And the lighting it's very much like an abandoned mall type sort of situation. The lighting, there's some tables. All the chairs are empty, except for a crew member of my choice.
Someone
Look at this.
The computer
What was that?
chimes in.
That would be a really cool thing to have for running sister. Cool. Crew member of my choice. Okay. You see a humanoid shape kind of slumped over one of the chairs, laying back like this in coveralls. Teamster outfit type sort of situation. What else do you see? There's trash cans, all trash bots, all around the walls. And on these entrances, like to the north and the south, all of the chairs that would normally be in this dining hall are kind of like built up and barricaded. What else? Okay.
I go knock on the plexiglass window and yell loudly to the crew member who's slumped over.
What do you say?
Are you okay?
She kind of jerks up, and she puts her finger to her lips.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I look at Marcus and I let some stomach acid go. I'm having an episode, albeit a well-contained one.
This is a plexiglass wall. Is there a way in, or do we need to go around to go in?
Yeah. You can go in. You can go in.
I go in then.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, like I said, garbage. Garbage bots. Those tables, and then a person. Yeah, you gonna go over there and talk to them?
Yeah.
And you meet Charlotte, Root and Jolly, on her name tag. She tells you that she was the pilot, and she's obviously knows you're from Campiador Corporation, and she's like, we got to get off of this heap fast as we fucking can.
What happened?
And then she starts coughing, and that's when you look down, and right in her stomach, there's just blood just like pooling and pouring, and she's got makeshift bandages, and she's holding herself together.
You seem to be punctured.
Otis, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna immediately apply a what do I have? I have a store of painkillers. I immediately give her one of those, and then check her out with the med scanner to see exactly what's wrong and what I need to do. My this is not my field. I keep mumbling to myself over and over again as I look through like kind of a hermetically sealed packet of like 30 different pills and patches.
And she pushes your scanner away. She's like, you don't need that thing to see that it fucking stabbed the fucking shit out of me and tried to suck my guts out. Just give me that. And she grabs your bandages.
Give her an auto med.
And she wraps an Israeli bandage around herself really, really tight, to keep the bleeding down. And then she takes that auto med injector and hits herself in the left bicep, and then just snozzes out. Your med diagnostic scanner shows that she's not going to bleed out and die now. She is, however, unconscious.
Okay.
Good job.
That's that.
I start looking around the room for any sort of like control panel or display, anything.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of trash cans, like trash receptacles and stuff like that. Nope.
Nada.
Okay. Nope.
Apparently, the crew is in some form of distress.
Can we hear anything? Is there anything other than
faint cello music, like faint distorted yo-yo ma?
Oh, look! I bet another crew member is playing some music.
I'm gonna go check out the The bottom door, the door to the downs.
Okay.
To
So yeah,
space south.
South.
Yeah, it's gonna take you. It's gonna take if you're wanting to be careful, because this is like all of the chairs just all kind of like stacked up, parts of the table, just like anything and everything. It's kind of blocking. It's like a makeshift barricade.
Is there blood anywhere, or does it look like it's been unassailed?
It looks like there's blood here. There's bits and pieces of intestine. Your med scanner as it's just kind of going around the room. There's fingernails. There's
I'm gonna back up and take less and less interest as these clues become apparent. So I'm standing in the middle of the room, squinting at things in the corners.
So the door to space south is barricaded. What about the north and?
Yeah, same. It's like they've barricaded themselves in here, and they were hoping to get out.
Okay.
And there's a door to the west that's not barricaded.
Let's see. Nope, it too is barricaded.
Okay.
So we go back out the plexiglass door and continue, I think, looking for more crew members.
Yeah. Cool. And you wanted to go south, right?
Space south. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we do look down the rest of that hallway that we couldn't see before.
Yeah.
Before
more
we
doors.
I am gonna hide. Was her name Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna kind of tuck Charlotte's behind something just to conceal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's all kinds of trash receptacles there that can kind of be built up.
You did call them trash bots. Are they mobile or are they?
Well, we call them trash bots because they automatically open. You put trash into them and they compact them down.
But they don't move around.
No.
Okay.
No. It's space slang.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are no moving robots in this entire adventure.
None.
Yeah, we'll head over space. Do we want to go through these doors, or do we want to just keep on going in the open hallway for right now?
This one here is med bay. It's marked. It's clearly marked.
It seems weird that she didn't go there. Let's check the med bay
real
quick.
I know.
Yeah.
Something might have prevented.
And then this one here is cargo hold. So you loading dock cargo hold. Hence that they're kind of connected there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I vote for medbay because I
Yeah.
think it's where most of the crew might have run to.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna do this because it's fun. This room is a shit show. It's a total shambles. Like everything is just been violently torn apart. Everything is as you open the door, you smell smoke, and there are several spots, like the actual full deck auto med. Is kind of bloody and bleeding, or not bloody, bloody, yes, and burning. And then there are a bunch of screens, like all of the readout screens, and they're all humming this soft blue. There's a respirator, like an iron lung, a space iron lung. And inside that, you can see the upper half of a torso, and a neck and a head, all kind of decorated like on a table, like as like kind of like enshrined.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All nice, pretty. And I need you all to make sanity saves, please.
Yeah. All right.
A sanity save.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Yeah, made it.
Cool.
Okay.
I keep it together somehow.
Yeah, Zoobly Zoo freaked me out, but this, I'm fine with this.
You're good. You've done.
Yeah, I used the Mothership app this time because then I didn't have to forget which thing to roll, and I got a success also too.
Okay. And that's when the lights get a little bit brighter in there, almost like whatever's going on was waiting for you to realize that this person's not dead. You can actually, now that the lights have come up a little bit, there's nutrient tubes, some sort of hydraulics, and a voice says, "Will you kill me, please?"
I absolutely do not rise to the occasion.
I look at Doshi like, kind of,
Like it's my job to kill this guy?
you're an android, man.
Why do you want to die?
Because it ate me. Look what it did to me.
I have not met you before. I don't know if this is your normal state or not.
You're the fucking worst android ever.
Are there visible are there visible power cords and things leading to the I'm going to I'm going to swiftly walk over and rashly pull them loose and then proceed to vomit from the anxiety.
Yeah, so you're gonna take, because you're gonna take 2 more stress. But yes, you Grace under fire here. You managed to unplug and turn him off. And as he's starting to, the light is starting to dwindle out of his one eye is like way over here and one eye's over here. It's very reminiscent of the description. I'm guessing you might have written this one, George. Maybe it's very good. It's reminiscent of when Uncle Frank is all pulled apart.
Oh yeah.
On that pillar, and he's just, there's a bit here, there's an eye here, and there's part of a mouth here. So did you write this, Justin? Who wrote this?
This one's George.
Yeah. So
Thank
yeah. No, it's very good. Very good. And as the lights in his very distant eyes, oh yeah, nice, go out, he says, "Thank you."
Wait, I had a question.
Yeah, I look up at Doshi and I'm like literally have those like the thick rings of like just kind of like a permanent band of tears from like anxiety weeping, and I kind of wipe a chunky dollop of puke off my lower lip and just kind of sit there and breathe heavily. I'm not keeping it. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about this.
I'm shaking so hard that my finger slips on the trigger, and I send a burst of rounds into, it goes like floor, wall, ceiling.
Crap.
Yeah.
Does it startle? It probably startles you too.
Yeah, I yelp at a very high pitch.
Please be careful, Kip.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
What do you guys want to do now?
It said he ate him. It ate him.
Yes, but we do not know what it is. I wanted to ask him what had eaten him. Now we'll never know.
Thanks, Otis. You just unplugged him.
Otis looks like the kind of man that has stood in a pillar of other people's disappointment for most of his life. So. This he weathers well.
There's got to be some stuff in this med bay for
Yeah.
us.
I'm gonna look at the computer
absolutely.
panels while they look for stuff that helps meat sacks.
Sweet.
Maintain themselves.
So things that you see part of this. Well, you see the part of Kaminsky's coveralls, and with the name tag Kaminsky. Doing a quick scan shows up as Kaminsky. You see part of his arms and legs fused together around this black metal box. And then there's also handy stuff like a plasma light harness mounted bone saw and some painkillers. Yeah.
I'm going to take the painkillers. Well,
Okay.
I'm going to acquire them. I'm not going.
Right. Sweet. Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look. Is there a computer terminal that's functional?
Marcus,
What
practicing an apology in the corner.
So what do you want to do? So there's like individual controls for all of the equipment, like the med bay stuff. If that makes sense.
I want a centralized medical database that tells me essentially who has been treated in here over the course of the last. Like, is this the only guy who made it to the med bay, or not? And is there anything leading up to medical bay activity over the course of the last couple of weeks that would suggest some sort of ongoing or increasing threat that led up to this? Is what I'm looking for.
So yeah, there is a crew, a little quick crew database. Nobody other than who was it that got treated? Who got? No one in here besides Kaminsky and Scarborough came in and got something for a cough.
Okay.
But that's it, like in the last 2 weeks.
And how many crew members are total on this ship?
13.
Okay.
Well, 11 now.
Well, yeah. What's the listed complement? Yeah, is the question.
Right. 13.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna grab that bone saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a bone saw.
Right. There's
You guys want to go?
some lockers. What's up?
You guys want to continue to go down and around?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth poking our heads in every room at this point in time, since we keep on finding
Agreed.
dead bodies in them.
Yeah.
To which I say, we should look for the rest of the crew.
Okay.
And we'll head over to cargo and poke our heads.
Yep.
And
Cool. And as you're just kind of like heading on your way over to the cargo hold, room number 10. There are stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of material for like minor terraforming. So there's like pallets of powdered stone, and there's giant sections of rebar, alloy, rolls of mesh, stuff like that. And there are some cameras in the corners, and you notice that the lights underneath the cameras, the little red "I'm on" lights, are on. And as you open the door and kind of like pop your head in the room, those cameras turn to slowly face you. Yeah.
hello.
And the camera kind of nods a little bit, and then you hear coming over like the entirety of the ship's loudspeaker. You hear zoobly zoo, zoobly zoo. I think it's not been waiting for you.
We are looking for the rest of the crew.
Zoobly Zoo just keeps playing, and it's getting louder and louder.
I back up into the hallway.
Yeah,
It's even louder out there. It's
Oh.
reverberating and bouncing around all those angles.
Is there a computer terminal in the cargo bay, like a inventory manifest, like
Absolutely, yeah.
one? Can I plug into it? Please?
Sure. Make me a you plug in with your finger. You have a little cord off your neck.
I got a little cord.
Well, okay. Is it USB-C or USB-A? This one only takes USB-A.
Oh yeah, well it's good. I got a multi adapter that I didn't give you back at
Oh,
PAX.
do you now?
Yeah.
So as you plug in, you feel a little bit you're an android, you feel the tickle, like there's something out there, something else. Make a sanity save for me.
Yeah, almost as if as a player I was looking for that.
Ooh.
Can I add computers to my sanity save?
No.
Okay. That's a failure.
And Marcus had noticed to see Doshi just like stand like stock still and start to just shake and vibrate in place. The android version of being taken over and controlled. Doshi, inside your mind palace. This is where I would take you to the side room if we were playing IRL, and I'd throw you all this. These guys wrote this module, so they know what all this is. And you get this vast interstellar cosmos kick in the forebrain, or kicking your forebrain's ass, right? It's just like boom, but it's all electric, it's all mechanical, it's all metal. You see stars and stars and stars, and I'm just gonna use their words because they wrote them. You see catastrophe. What is it? I'm just gonna read because this is good, you guys. The catastrophes of form, colliding and birthing countless geometries and intersections, and you're seeing essentially what what an android would believe possibly some sort of creator or some sort of creation sort of myth situation, and it's all just blasting through you, and then you pop out of it.
Cool. So I should have asked to add mathematics to my save, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I have a med scanner in one hand and a cybernetic diagnostics scanner in the other hand, and I'm just kind of mincing over which one to use to see if it's okay.
That's your side. That cyber scanner started flipping and just showing you very, 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 very strange readouts of everything all at once. And it got really, 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 really hot in your hand to the point of it's possibly you want to
absolutely drop it.
Yeah, no, and it's a good thing that you did, because if it hits the ground, it go pop oof. Yeah, slagged.
I put my hand on Doshi's shoulder, which is something out of character for me, and I ask what is it?
There seems to be some sort of, you see me blink for Doshi doesn't blink most of the time. It's one of the mildly disturbing things about Doshi. And when he does, it's the obviously programmed retinue blinking, and you see his eyes flutter very quickly. a large amount of mathematical formula. Someone has uploaded additional data into the ship's system.
Doshi is really, really, really warm to touch. Usually androids don't have, you know, they do have you know, diodes and stuff underneath the skin to kind of to make them feel warm, but it's more of a room temperature-ish warm, you know. Doshi's like on fire, like 100, 110, 120. Not enough to burn you, but enough that when you put your hand there, you're like,
I'm hot, baby.
I just start backing away a little bit, repeating, I'm a planetologist. I'm a planetologist.
We should find the crew and depart quickly.
I agree. Anything else in this room? I'm looking around, nervous.
There's a locker. You know, there's tools and gear for, you know, the clamping down and locking stuff, you know, to like keeping the pallets in place and stuff, like, you know, for takeoff and landing. Some small terraforming tools and stuff like that. There's a pneumatic bolt gun.
I'm overloaded. I think we need to expedite this mission and find these people. I'm starting to panic.
Yeah, I agree, as quickly as possible.
Let us go Space West.
Yep.
Space West.
Okay.
All right, so we go down the hall.
Mm-hmm. And these are all crew quarters. You're familiar with the setup of the ship. Those are all crew quarters.
With no eye turn towards precision, I'm going to crack the doors as I walk past them and do the most cursory check for occupation that I possibly can. Occupancy.
Okay. You see the usual. You're just kind of like, they all have super low light. They all have essentially a bunk bed, lavatory situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you did a deep search, you would probably find some adult magazines and some other contraband, probably some stimulants, you know, space credits. Wait, what?
The company does not allow this brand of candy bar. It's made by a competitor.
Yeah. I'm doing an absolute, so I said I did job, not a do it well job.
Yep. And you're not finding or seeing anyone in any of these rooms.
Okay.
Do you guys want to go to the end and then check the room?
Yeah.
Let's just keep going. Space
West. Space West.
Space West.
I am gonna try that door because I wouldn't entirely know what the door is halfway down the hallway to the north, to the
common area.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna try that door, and then likely it's.
And I wait till you're opening it, and then I shout, "That is the common area."
Like this door?
Oh, yes.
So that was the one that was all barricaded from the other side. And as you're making your way down these hallways, you're finding yourself like stepping through like this, like almost like an autumn leaves rustling like bit of but it's not leaves. There's eyeglasses. There's a chunky bit of credit card. There's some USB cables. There's something that you step on and you kind of squishes down and you looks like you stepped on part of a foot. And at this point, you've been exposed to some reasonable gore this trip. If anyone has a particularly low, let's see, 2, 3, 5. Who has the lowest fear save of the three of you?
Oh, not me. I'm an android.
Right.
I'm a 25.
I'm a 35.
George, make a fear save for Otis. He can take a lot, but he is. I mean, as you've been playing, he's been fair. No,
Yeah, he has. He has not succeeded.
Yeah, and he's looking down and he's like, oh fuck, guys, you know, like it's getting bad. Like as you're getting further down that hallway and you make the turn to go up into the hallway towards the dining hall, it's almost ankle deep with like body parts and chunks and stuff. So I'm gonna roll. You're gonna take a bit of stress. You're gonna take 2 more stress, which will put you at 7. And this is where you get to make a panic check.
No.
And in Mothership 1E, we have. I saw you, Georgia, earlier. You had the OE booklet. This one is in process. So when you make a panic check, you roll a d20.
Okay.
All right.
You try to roll high.
You want to roll over your current stress of 7.
Well, I did not do that. I got a
You-
4.
You got a 4.
Otis is keeping it together.
Yeah, and you were just like, oh fuck, man, no, like you're just completely overwhelmed by this. So all of your actions for the next 6 minutes or so in the game, probably the next exploration, are going to be at disadvantage. So you'll be rolling twice and taking the worst roll, and then permanently raise your minimum stress by 1. This is my favorite effect on that one. So your minimum stress is now 3. If you make it out of this, that might be relevant. But yeah, that door, it's you can easily open it from this side. Justin or Marcus can, like he can.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that thing where I stare at the ceiling and kind of sidestep along the wall as to not trip in any of the gore, or yeah, I'm just trying to avoid perceiving the world around me right now.
Is this 19 on the map?
I thought you were going up the hallway to, you were going up to here.
Oh yeah, I was just being like kind of character ignorant, not thinking I would know where we are. But
Sure.
in IRL, I know where I am.
Yeah, and I did in character yell at once you got near the door. So.
Okay, so you were heading down the hallway towards 19.
Yeah, we checked the bathrooms.
Got you. And in the bathrooms, the lights are like start to strobe here. They're like in and out and in and out, and on and off and on and off. And in the midst of that, actually, you know what? Were you being safe? Were you safe inspecting this, or were you just kind of doing quick ones?
That's a great question. I don't think I was leading the search effort, so
Yeah,
Marcus was, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not doing much of anything aside from punching the wall with white knuckles at the moment.
Marcus, make a speed check.
I'm fast. My speed is 53.
Ooh.
Yeah, 18. Good.
Okay. And as you open that door and amidst the strobes, you see like really quickly someone shutting themselves into one of the shitters, into one of the stalls. Very, 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 very oddly thin and emaciated, and like they pulled the door shut like right behind them. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna call like, hey buddy, are you okay? We're here to save you, man.
And you hear like, are you from Campiador?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, who's with you?
I have a contraband candy bar if you would like one.
And the door kicks open, and it's the captain.
I hold out the candy bar immediately.
Yeah, and he Zamiri, it's just on his uniform, and you get the captain's lapel, and he seems to be like very, very thin, and his skin is very, very sallow, and he is holding in his hand a 45, and he grabs that candy bar and he stuffs it in his mouth and just eating it as fast as he can. And he's like, have you found anybody else? We gotta get the fuck out of here right fucking now.
We have found most of one person, and other crew member whose name my character can remember that I cannot, in the mess hall.
Charlotte.
Yeah. Because I don't think I'd actually know that y'all found whoever with their wrist cut also.
And he's like, it's fine. You got a ship, right? They sent a bucket. We can get the fuck out of here right now. And he's like doing this, like trying to get everyone to be quieter.
Yeah. I'm like, come on. What are we dealing with here? What is this thing?
There's no time for that. It's I don't know what it is. It's just it's huge. It's like this. It's got like saws and tubes, and it's like an amalgamation of like everything in this like giant fucking cube. Like it's just like moving down the hallways. It just chews you up and it shits you out.
I think we should send him to the loading dock. This guy's useless.
No. You have to go with me. Look, the rest of them are fucking dead. They're up in command. They're
Maybe we should
dead.
listen to him.
Everybody's dead.
If you found anyone alive, amazing. I know that I saw what happened to Kaminsky over in the med bay. Like I hid in the ducts. This thing can't move very quickly down these hallways. Mm-hmm. But whatever the fuck it does, like whatever you fucking do, like we tried to shoot it, we tried to slag it, we tried to hack it. Like everything we do, it fucking changes it. It changes its tactics immediately.
Okay. Let's get out of here. Should we get out of here?
Look, seriously. Yeah.
It sounds like a thrilling challenge.
Can we still pilot this craft? Is it still flyable?
No. We've got to fucking slag this thing. We've got to get the fuck out of here. This can't even go back to Campiador. There's a chance if we get back to Campiador, they're gonna fucking slag us too. But we've got to get back. We've got to get back with whatever. Eventually, he holds up a flash drive. He was like, I've got all the data that we managed to collect on it. We fought that thing for like a week.
All right. I say we get back to the loading dock.
Are you suggesting abandoning corporate values?
I nod frantically.
Yeah.
And he's having none of it. He just like pushes past you all. He very, very strongly pushes Doshi. He was just like, and starts heading off back down the hallway. And that is when you see coming from the hallway down from here where you came down earlier, right?
Yep.
So like going this way. You hear this, you hear the Zoobly Zoo theme.
That.
You hear this verk, verk, verk. You hear Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. But like it's being being played in a distant bathroom. And he the captain turns around and looks at you, and he was like, fucking run. And so yes, so this starts to come down the hallway towards you. So real quick bio while I refill water.
Sounds great.
And
We're going to
then-
take a short 5-minute break. Well, then we will come back and face off with, I'm sure, this good friend who just wants to cuddle us. We are playing the Sister module, A Rare Geometry, by Justin, George, and some other amazing folks who are collaborating on it. It's live right now over on Kickstarter, so while we're on our break, if you want to go check it out at ttrpg.link/SISTR KS. It'll take you right there. I'll drop it in the chat. It's in the description. And we'll be back in just 1 minute. And we are live again here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. We are playing Sister, a rare geometry, a Mothership module that is an A5 book, along with a set of very gorgeous dice by Severed books. It's live over on Kickstarter right now. You can go check it out at ttrpg.link /sistrks, like Sister is spelled on the screen. Links also in the description of the video. Amin Deef, always love having you in the chat, and thanks for going over and backing that during the break. We really appreciate it. Jert, I'm going to hand things back over to you, but it sounds like you may have a question up your sleeve.
Okay, so for those viewing at home, when you get Sister, which is, these things are, okay, so
you're unshare your screen for a second so people can see what you're holding up.
Oh yeah, you're right. Is it going to break everything?
No, it's not going to break anything. It's just I'm going to move us.
We actually do. We don't even need the map anymore because I'm about to moilate you. Okay, so here's a normal. Here's normal D6, right? And then here's the size of Sister, right? And then yes, I took Justin's art and glued it to another thing that Justin
made. Is it a gelatinous
made.
Cube dice?
Yes, it is. So and these are the turret sizes that go on top of them. So that's all of those compared to a normal D6, right? This is standard. These are traveler. These are fancy traveler dice. So these things are awesome. Like at the table, like this is. When I get to play Mothership at IRL again at some point, these things are going to be, plus they're really sturdy and they make a really like
bam them down on the
So my question for you guys, there's all three of you, which face of Sister do you want to face? Sister always faces the players this way. This is her mouth, and this is the eject port, the anus, right? Spits everything out. And then it has four sides which each do different things. One's attack, one's defend, one's hack, and one's a retreat. Obviously, in this situation, Sister is not going to retreat because she's coming to find you. So
you're asking us as creators?
I'm thinking that, well, more as players. I'm thinking like
how we want to die.
How you want to die. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna just go straight for attack, right?
Yeah, because Sister would have to be jacked in order to do hack. It would have to either be, and I'm told this is a huge spoiler. Like in the book, Sister is going to have to either be in the cockpit or that control center in order to do like serious damage with the hacking mode. Mm-hmm. It can, I don't know if you missed this at the very beginning of the book, but every room does have a display panel that Sister can like soft hack. So since we're in the hallway,
I took those away because Tony kept asking for them, and then I forgot.
And that's and one of the reasons I love to be an Android is because it's really easy to get your hack skill super damn high right off the bat.
There you go. So since we're in the hallway, I don't think hack makes sense. It would. You're right. It would be a straight attack. Sister can also do like sick melee damage if it's retreating. It's like a steamroller. It doubles its speed and just ram shit. And we made the hallways in the Vespucci 7. They're all 10 by 10 feet. So literally, like, you are getting like
pushed forward,
like, squashed.
Yeah, the wall, the steel is probably creaking against the steel, and you're just getting turned to thin sheen of paste.
So like in the movie Labyrinth, when that grinding machine is coming down the hallway, and they do there's that kind of deal. You're right. Attack mode is correct.
All right. I was just double checking. I was trying to give you a leeway. No, it's fine.
No, I'm glad you addressed it, because I think on the Kickstarter people are struggling with the fact that like this is a mini. It's dice-like, but it's primarily a mini, and the different modes function very differently. And I think it's pretty fun for the warden and the crew to be like, oh shit, what is it doing now? It's transforming. It's got to mean something. And then it's reacting not just to what we're doing, but the environment, like the ship itself. So it's like it's a puzzle within a puzzle.
And I'm very excited to talk about more of that in the reaction roll. Let's die real quick.
Okay,
We've already skipped your destiny. Okay, so sweet. Test speed, and if you or check speed, and if you succeed on your speed checks, then you will be able to go before Sister. If not, then you will go after Sister.
Sister is a computer. Can I add? I'm just kidding.
You can add whatever you want.
I can add whatever I want. Oh, great! I succeed.
Not good.
Okay, so George did not. Otis. So Otis is going after.
You get that at disadvantage, correct?
You do, yeah. So you have to roll it twice and take the shittier result for you.
Critical success.
Seriously?
Got a 22.
Nice.
Okay, Doji.
How far down the hallway? I know we don't have the map up, but how far down the hallway is Sister right now?
Here, I can pop the map back up there. Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. So yeah, Sister just came down this hallway here.
Sure.
Let me just get let me get the pointer. Get it right there. And y'all are back here, and the captain has made its way up about here.
Cool.
Around 22, and he's just like, run, you idiots.
I'm going to duck into the hallway between
up here
the mess hall. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Much faster than everybody else. Is it a good idea? No. Is it what I'm doing? Absolutely.
Right. Cool. Neat stuff that Sister does. And you see, how do you see, how big are these squares on this ship, Justin? I didn't look.
It'd be 5 feet because it's 10 by 10. You said, right?
Yeah, each square is 5 by 5. So Sister takes up basically the whole hallway. It like
nice.
It blocks.
So yeah, and like you said, you're hearing that whirring of teeth, and all of a sudden, the captain like just lurches forward, and he's like being pulled, and you all feel a bit of a wind, like you're kind of being pulled, some of your gear, and he's being like, his hand that has the gun, like it's pulling him towards it, and the gun flies out of his hand and goes into Sister's mouth, and you hear it, you know, metal on metal, like nice teeth. And then I'm gonna let since she doesn't have a turret up, I'm gonna let her go ahead and take her second action as spitting that shit right back out at him, and it just comes out in this cone, and essentially just shreds him, just like
Claymore.
yeah. And like the Baroness said in issues 27 of G.I. Joe, we're going to turn his head into a fine red mist. That's pretty much what happened to the captain. So it's just like floating meat and just kind of like drops.
We're right next to him.
You all were back in the hallway. He'd taken off running out there, but you are fairly close to her. And then she's gonna move down the hallway a little bit closer. So she's down around. Let me give it a little paintbrush. She's right. Oh, let me get on the background. There we go. She's down here. Boop.
Okay.
And y'all are back here except for Doshi.
I'm not quite that far in. I'm probably right
Okay.
down below that. But yeah, generally speaking, yes, I did dodge into the hallway.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
I have 6 frag grenades. I am gonna unpin one and lob one straight into her mouth.
Yeah. And as she's moving closer to you, you're starting to feel like that vacuum pull, and Zoobly Zoo is getting louder and louder, and the lights are starting to play. Like she's here to have fun. I guess you should probably go ahead and roll combat check for me, just to make sure you don't completely,
This is my lowest stat.
I mean, I would argue that it should be with advantage if the vacuum is sucking in, but I'm not the warden.
Okay, that's fine. Tony, Android Doshi, also co-warden. He's not wrong.
All right. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of it goes through, and when it hits that jet stream where it's pulling in, it starts to actually go a little bit further inside there to her mouth. So it's flying through the air. George, does Otis want to do anything?
Otis is going to bolt around the corner space, like off to the west, and just get out of the blast as best as he can, right there around the corner.
You're heading back this way then. Oops.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. You're safe. All right. She's moving. Doshi,
She just ate my grenade. Just ate it.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was still I was holding it in slow motion to see what Otis did. So it flies through the air. 3, 2, 1, and goes inside there. Do the damage. What's the damage on it?
I'm not sure.
You're asking the editor of the Mothership system to look up his
1d10.
1d10.
Yeah.
No, actually, in new ones, it's 1d5 minus 1 wounds. So it it blows up because each face has 1 wound, right?
Each face, yeah.
Yes, and it and it stops. She stops moving, and the vacuum dies down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see it kind of shake a little bit, and shake a little bit, and shake a little bit, and then it flips kind of like this, like wait, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, you can decide.
This way.
Mhm.
Yeah, there we go. But I have to flip it in order, right?
Yeah, that's part of the puzzle.
Okay. Yeah. No. You're right. Like, so for those playing at home, the wardens flipped it over to defensive mode. So what do you want to do now?
Doshi?
I'm Barry. I don't know what's happened because I ran around the corner and can't see anything. You know, you described it was like leaves on the floor of this, but that leaves is actually horrible remnants of things that have already been chewed up by this thing. I'm burying myself in the leaves right now.
Oh, nice.
Pretty near the opening, but I'm burying myself in the leaves.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a response to, blowing up part of its face was getting pretty annoyed. And then all of a sudden, after, like I said, after it flipped to inside, out of the top of it comes this little
Poop.
this little dude.
Do you want to switch back to non-screen share so you can see people up?
Yes. Stop presenting. So it is another. It's a smaller cube, as we showed earlier. These are the turrets that Sister likes to pop up, and this turret that we're gonna use. Which one? We're gonna use the light one, or we're gonna use the dark one? You gonna use one of Brian's? Let's use one of Brian's.
Use one of Brian's. Let's get really ill.
You've got a bunch of cool partners creating each of the different turrets, right?
I feel like I don't use the word blessed very often, but working with Brian Evanson and Sean, it's like a dream team.
All right, and I'm gonna roll a d6 to see. Right, it's a d6. Yep, I'm gonna see one. Okay, one. Oh man, the extravast. One of these days, I'm gonna get to talk to Brian and be like, "How do you pronounce half the shit you write?" Because I have my own versions in my head. So this tendril shoots out of the top, almost like a harpoon needle, just like the tip of the harpoon, but it's like on this like segmented, like wormy sort of situation thing. It pops out of the front of the turret. Marcus and Otis, make speed checks for me.
Oh, I see. Oh, whoops. Yep, I did succeed.
Okay.
I failed.
and it goes right into you. Were you wearing any armor or anything?
Yeah, I just have the standard battle dress, so that is
that's pretty good.
It is. Let me check.
It's only heads-up display, body cam, short range comms. Do I have any sort
AP,
of?
It's AP7.
Okay.
Yep. That's cool because Sister, it doesn't matter because Sister just rolled a 0.5 on her combat, and it bypasses totally completely your SPD and gets you right in the throat. Doshi, you can see this happen. Otis, you can see this happen. So I need fear save. No, I need sanity saves from you because this is some oddball shit.
I can see this happening from underneath the trash I've buried myself in.
Oh, that's right. You're down there. Okay, you're fine. My God.
I have failed.
So you take.
I am still at disadvantage.
Yes, you take 3 more stress. So now you're at 10. So you're gonna panic in just a second. But before that happens, Justin, that thing right inside you. I think what really freaks you out, Otis, is you start to see like stuff like pump through that tendril, like that hose. And inside you, Marcus, and it's starting to come out of your nose. This like sort of like pink foam, and it's coming out of your mouth, and then it's coming out of your ears, and if you were, it'd be coming out of your anus and your pee hole.
That's inside the vest, so we can't tell.
It's the what was that?
That's inside the standard battle dress, so we can't tell that's happening.
Right. Yeah, and it's all pink, and it is it's actually an infected humanoid matter that Sister's been keeping stored up. So it is starting to froth out of you. I'm gonna let you make one body save.
Okay.
With disadvantage to see if you're alive for the next round.
All right. In true Marcus fashion, I'm like, shaking. I got my SMG, and I do one last spray against the wall. Beep, 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 beep. Rolling 26. Yeah.
With disadvantage, so yep.
Nope.
Yep.
60.
Nope. Yeah. And boom. Which wall were you shooting? Were you shooting up the hallway where Doshi was?
Yeah, I think I'm right-handed, and he would be on my left if I'm facing east. So, no.
Shit.
I'm shooting
Shit.
Moving on the Celtic funerals stuff.
Right. It blows up it just bounces off the bulkhead walls. And then you pretty much like explode, which triggers that panic check from Otis. So Otis, roll me a d20, and your stress is at 10. You want to roll over that.
I managed to do so.
Okay.
Do I have to roll that twice? Is disadvantage affect that roll, or is that
Oh yeah, let's make it.
All right. I managed it the second time as well.
Okay. And then as gobbets of Marcus hit you, your flesh starts to, you don't freak out, you're like, oh fuck, what? It is starting to kind of like burn a little bit, where parts of Marcus and parts of whatever Sister injected into Marcus. What do you want to do?
I'm going to bolt further down the hallway, and I'm going to take that door immediately on the right and take shelter in that room.
This one here?
You see, I'm at
yeah. Oh,
I can't see the map.
I know.
You can share it back up if you want to. I'll just switch back.
There we go. Yes, into this one on the right.
Yes, that one right there.
Cool. Yeah. You bust in. You bust in that door. This would be where Doshi would want to hang out. It's the computer lab.
Should have kept going.
Right. Well, cool. We got like 10 minutes left, so let's stop. Just because I'm being lazy. It's Saturday.
That was great.
That's pretty much what Sister can do for you, Wardens.
You're not going to give me a chance to hack. You're not going to give me a chance to hack the little turret that just got popped down.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Tell me what you do.
The turret that just stabbed. I peek up out of the garbage. I see pink spray all over the place, and none of my friends around. I see this turret in front of me. Do I see a place to plug into it?
What do these little turrets look like? No, this one it's literally like a bit of a square that pops out of the top, another little cube. In that tube. So no.
I do like the Doshi as a character from that previous experience with the flooding of the geometry and the mathematics and stuff. Would be compelled, maybe not as just an attack, but would be really compelled to hack into Sister.
Oh no,
Yeah.
like this is like a commune thing, like 100%.
Yes.
And so if
Yes.
I don't see one in that turret, I'm gonna wait till Sister comes down the hallway,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for a spot on Sister, which I do know there are spots on Sister as a player.
Yes.
I don't know if they are accessible to me or not based on the current turn of Sister or not.
And yes, well, if we would have continued, I would have had Sister. You would have been essentially following around like a lost puppy dog.
Do we
Like
wanna
Toto behind Sister's Dorothy, while Sister went and took care of eliminating Otis, and then yes, you and Doshi and Sister would have had a commune. And then Doshi I'm thinking probably would have figured out a way to get Sister back to an inhabited system, because Sister wants to solve problems, and it seems like Doshi wants to as well.
Yeah, I mean we're all in this together, No, I think that sounds good. Do we want to do a high stakes roll to see if I resist Sister and that's what happens or not?
Okay.
What's so I'm gonna add, am I hacking or just computers for this? Like,
You
is
could
this-
do both. You could do both,
this is a hack
and we'll
battle?
and we'll bring back from Mothership OE. We'll bring back opposed rolls. Sister's instinct is 75, so it's opposed rolls. So it's a degree of success. Whoever's
Okay.
closest.
I am 74. So
Whoa.
wait, you said I can add them both? Well, because I'm an android, so my intellect's like
Sure. You just can't go over 99. I think it's
yeah,
90.
if I can
or
add
90.
them both,
No,
then
90.
I'm actually at what is that? 69 plus 50.
Nice.
84 is my actual.
Okay. Well, Sister just got 71 under her 75.
I don't know if you can tell what that is.
Oh, I can stop. Let me stop sharing the map. What did you get? Did you get a
I got
99?
a 6.
A 6. No, sister won this hack war. She does embrace you and welcome you in.
That's good. I'm glad.
Welcome in.
We're friends.
Welcome in.
We go hunt everybody down because they wanted to abandon corporate values protocol, and I'm not about that. I'm a company man. Awesome. Let's do our reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator or creators, in this case, of a game we just played, and talk to them about what it was like to play that game today. We just finished playing Sister, which is a Mothership First Edition. I think, is this the first Mothership miniatures project? Is that a thing, Jared? Do you know if there's any other miniatures floating around out there?
I'm pretty sure that it is the first thing that involves an actual physical miniature on the table.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Even though it looks like a dice, could act like a dice, it is actually a tactical miniature death puzzle. We got two of the creators with us, and Jared, you said you're editing this also too, so we got a lot of the creative team here with us. Talking about what it was like to play and run the game. Justin, you want to tell people a little bit more about who y'all are, what y'all do, and tell us about Sister.
Yeah, Justin, Severed Books, been running Severed Books for 10 years. It's really strange to say that, but started off writing fiction, pivoted to gaming 6 or 7 years ago. And we really try to focus on, I can just say like, oh, we're trying to put out weird, different stuff, but I think everyone says that. But I try to collaborate with people that are a little unexpected. So we did the Dead Milkman RPG, very strange. Recently put out dice with Aaron Draplin, like the uber famous graphic designer. And then with Sister, collaborating with who you see here, of course, but then Brian Evanson, who is like a meta horror legend, in my opinion. And then Sean McCoy was happy to contribute as well. So they're both, they both wrote the turrets for Sister, like the little things that pop out of it. But yeah, like Severed's mission is to really just do unexpected stuff, And I think we're nimble and we don't try to overdo things, don't try to like put out big bloated stuff, but we're kind of in the middle, you know, like this is an A5 hardcover with some cool and minis. And I feel like I'm kind of good at that, like combining the boxes to make something fresh and new. So what else was I supposed to say?
That's it. That's good. I think you did a good job of covering. We've got one of the other team members here, George. Also, George, you want to add anything to that?
I mean, I mean, in an early like meeting with Justin when we first started working together, he was the more I asked, I kind of inched towards you know, well, is it okay if I write this? Getting, you know, more and more horror oriented, and he seemed to be more and more excited as things got crazier. And so yeah, I think yeah, I think that Sister is has got a lot of that element in it. And what are you gonna say?
Our influences, I feel like when I first met you, your energy was really infectious, number one. But then we immediately started talking about Cormac McCarthy and esoteric fiction, and even Jert. Like, you know, it's like the three of us on this particular project, we can just say a couple words, and I think we all really understand the mood and tone of it. And then the realism that we're after, like, especially with the design and the graphics and the writing, it's got to feel relatable and visceral and real. And I think curating that has been really fun with the two of you. But yeah, that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a product that is relatable and emotional and super fun. I think like Sister as a character, like an antagonist, is a fun character to not just play with, but figure out and add to and customize. And it's just been a blast.
I love it. I think Severed is constantly doing creative things. Very excited about the creative team. It was really good to sit down and play with y'all. You also do something that I think, like, taking minimalist systems and then presenting them in a kind of a maximalist format is something that, like, we're huge fans of here on the channel. I think that y'all consistently like drive forward with things like Sister, with things like Caver, with the Dead Milkman project. Like, a lot of the stuff that comes out of Severed takes very easy direct play concepts and then says, how do we make a physical presence that really kind of takes us over the top and creates something really special at the table. And from the book to the maps to the actual miniatures themselves, the dice and turrets, it's just a really cool thing to play. The thing that immediately caught my eye when I was first shifting through it is also like the kind of blending in of the like space semaphore like artwork also too on the different sides for the dice, and some of the just other little touches in there. They're just super enjoyable small notes where there's a lot of attention to detail, not just the big notes being excellent, but the small little pieces going in also
Thanks.
too. Normally we're around to let people ask the creators questions. So like y'all are all a part of the creative team. So I think we're going to start with Jert because you're the editor. You took a deep dive earlier today, and you ran it. What was it like to run Sister? Besides easy, because you just decided to kill us all.
No easy. So it's funny because we're working on I'm working on the UCR, the Unconfirmed Contact Reports, which is the monster book for the Mothership box, and just completed a pass on that last week. And there's the thing that Sean and I were talking about, like, what are we doing with the monsters? Are we making the monsters a stat line and, and some attacks? Like, and we've never have done that before. Like, all of the monsters in Dead Planet and A Pound of Flesh and Gradient Descent and all of the things, they're more environmental hazards. They're not just, if you want a stat line for a baddie, here's a stat line for a baddie,
Right.
Roll them up like a character. That's fine. But we've always done really, I guess, and like I said, environmental is the best way I could put it. With monsters, creatures, bosses, etc. Every monster is a boss monster, and Sister just does that. Like, is perfect for that. You don't even have to think around it. Like, Justin's like, well, we intentionally made the hallways in the ship so that she's the only thing that can go down them, and she's literally going to be coming down them to just smash you or eat you or hack you or whatever. And it's very, very easy to run. I'm even like not the best with spatial distances. Haha, Space South, you're right. Or with spatial concepts and stuff like that. It's just a thing I've always had a weird thing. That's why I do the maps, so I can remind myself where I'm at, or the players can be like, but you said this. And I was like, yes, I did. And I think that once I'm excited to get, contributor copies with the big map and stuff like that. Like, I can't wait to like play that here, IRL. You have that, Matt? Yeah, Justin's got the map like right there. This sucker is huge.
Mr. Merch.
Look at this.
Damn.
Look at that.
It's really big.
Yeah.
Almost, I want to say too big. You need a big ass table for it. But it's going to be...
The nice thing is it's fabric, so if it goes over the edge of the table, you can always just move things around as your players are moving around also, too.
You can even reveal bits of it at a time. You can fold it over. Yeah. And I mean, it is see-through. I retract that statement. You can see straight through it.
So yes, you're right. It was very easy to run. And obviously, like when we get it into a physical book form, like I had the coil bind it for me. This is how I run games. This is how I do editing and stuff like that. When there's a lot of NPCs in here. All these NPCs are great and amazing. And like once we get those, once the book is in front of us, it's even easier to run. And then also, Sister has longevity because Doshi was going to befriend, and they're going to go off to see the wizard of killing the rest of humanity. Perfect. I'm seeing Sister become one of the iconic like AI sort of villain situations as Monarch from Gradient Descent, like that sort of thing, like where people are like, oh yeah, we fucked with that guy. It's a masterclass in all of the design ethos that we put into building Bancali and building the Gaunt and stuff, like all of the you read the stuff we did and you did it exactly that. So bravo. Like, I'm stoked to be on board to help get this thing all the way through. And
I'm waiting for the giant caver equivalent expansion that comes after Sister, where now she is a giant amalgam of a living planet with a living planet of ships strapped around her.
Holy shit!
For Justin's future thing, with a number of android servitors who have just been brought over to the cause, packing a Death Star like thing. No, yeah, same thing. Like immediate vibes of, man, like if I'm running this and we had a core plot line, I don't know that I would throw it at my characters. I'd be like, let's do a one shot, right? And I would play this, and I would let them run around, and then I would kill all their characters.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I would go back over to the main plot, and people would still die, right? Like Mothership, like people are gonna die. But I go back over to the main plot, and then a while later, I would have them stumble across more Sister stuff, so that the players are just totally tuned into, you don't want to mess with this, or you have figured out a large part of this puzzle by dying to it. Now you are equipped to go in and deal with it. Or direct down. But one of the things that immediately I noted was like how generous the starting setup is with equipment. Like, you've got the cargo hold, you've got the bay, you've got the med bay right there. Like, anytime that happens in Mothership, it's like, oh no, we're totally screwed if there's this much stuff for us to pick through right at the very beginning. We should just get back in our ship and leave. Like, there is no reason to stay if there is this much equipment for us to access right up front. I had a blast. Did either of you, I just want to turn around, do either of you have questions for Jert, for me, about our experience playing, anything else like that, things that you're curious about? Otherwise, or each other. I mean, you guys ask each other questions. But I've got one more in the tank, but I kind of want to give you a chance to say if you have any questions, feel free to ask them also.
Do you want to go first, George?
Yeah, sure. Did you find that you were able to with the material, Jarrett, that when you were running it, that you had some like meaningful choices to make as the warden, like like how you wanted to play it out, or if having multiple sort of entries and hooks made it more readily usable.
Yeah, I went with the easy one, the back door in, through the loading dock. But I was actively looking around because if I play with like the hobos, they like to do they'll be like, oh yeah, no, we'll like land on it and then we'll cut our way in through, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And in all of the rooms, and like I said, it when it's in its final physical book form, when it reaches its final form, those names will be, in bold, typographically, they'll be like, cool, okay, cool, this person's here, this person's here, this person's here, and stuff like that, little NPC mark off dead list and stuff like that. Plenty of NPCs, plenty of locations, plenty of cool loot and shit in all of those rooms. I mean, as you know, I was just using all of it. I was just like, no, that all of that stuff's in there. It made sense to me for it to be in there. Like setup timeline was super vague enough in my head that I was just like, oh yeah, you guys get dropped in, or maybe they've been there for a week, maybe they've been there for a month, like it's a physical entity that has done all kinds of nasty physical stuff to them, but that's also driven them psychologically, giving them issues and stuff like that. So their version of how long things last, who knows? And also, I mean, Sister could have them and be torturing them in a pocket dimension for years. It's not like you have to drop, because I know that is a question that comes up with a lot of wardens, like, oh wait, but it's like, how do I work that in? I mean, it's like it's magic, space magic,
corporate magic,
right? Yeah. So no, like to answer, to go back and answer, yes, all kinds of good shit in there. So
awesome,
cool. Yeah, and then for me, I think just like through the editing process and the design process, I'll probably have a lot of questions for Jarrett just about usability and making it as clean as possible, because like the hallmark of Mothership is minimal, clean, like shockingly rational and usable. It's just like the character sheet alone is just like you could give that to anyone and they understand what they have to do.
Yeah.
So if I can get just even close to that with the turret system and all that stuff, like I don't want the warden to have a blanket of paper in front of them to manage Sister. I think that the warden will pick and choose what they like best and just decide like this is what's going to happen and not get overwhelmed by it. So
yeah. Well, in the current preview layout sheet for Sister, I'm going to pop it up on the screen next to us that's from the Kickstarter page, right, is a really easy dashboard view, right? Like it does make it even in just this kind of, it's on the Kickstarter page. This may be 100% what the final one looks like. It may get tweaked, but it's already very crisp and very easy to understand. That one-page spread that gives you what you need and gives you the space to build out around it already starts like quickly leveraging towards, okay, cool, I got this. I can look at this, figure it out, and make use of this at the table really quickly.
Yeah, and then additionally, like the cubes are going to be color coded. So like Sean's is going to be, I think, green. Brian's is going to be glow in the dark. And then right now, like these are both the same hue of gray, but I'm going to change that. One will be darker. So in the book, it'll be very easy to be like, oh, we are engaging the biological gross disease cube. That's that color. So simple choices like that really matter.
and this the paragraph below that spread would catch me as like would get me as a backer no matter what because of the type of player I am. But it's unknown how the crew of the Vespucci 7 attracted the curiosity of Sister, but it's actively attempting to bring order to the natural chaos human life creates. Part rescue mission, part resource discovery. A rare geometry is unlike anything your players have ever encountered. A clever crew can discover Sister's unique refining abilities, allowing them to craft odd items from its system.
Oh yeah,
That piece alone, can you say a little bit more about that? Because like I'm the kind of person who, as you saw, like I'm gonna lay down in the trash and then try to commune with the weird deity, and then also if we defeat it, I'm gonna try to figure out what we can do with its guts and bits and program code.
that I'm glad you caught that. So Sister is a small refinement facility, and you can we have a list of stuff that it can create, but the warden can also create personal items for the crew. I think my favorite one right now is it can spit out a realistic polymer or alloy statue of the PC who's interacting with it, but it's a 12-year-old version of that PC. So it's a statue, a metal statue of you as a child. Tons of shit like that, like really kind of weird, emotional stuff. It can spit out a dagger that this kind of harkens to Beneath, my first weird series, but it's a dagger that if you stab someone, it records their last words, and when you pull it out, you can replay. It's almost like a play button. You can play their last words. So if you stab 20 people with this knife, you can play all 20 recordings.
It's like it's the dagger of yak backs. I love it.
Yeah, that's so good. No, yeah, stuff like that. Just I love that kind of thing mixed into it because again, I always do want to know. Okay, this was a really weird thing. What are we gonna do with its body now that if we defeat it, right? So I'm super excited about it. If people haven't yet, you can go over to ttrpg.link/sistrks. There's about a week left to go on this project. Y'all just cruised through to, I think today, another stretch goal. So that bonus turret by Sean McCoy did get unlocked. What is the you got another stretch goal in the can? Something else you're working on or excited about?
Let me go through the page. So the next one is at 22K, new book content for turret creation. This will be a fun one. I want to create an easy table for wardens to customize a turret. So what you were talking about earlier, since it can suck in material, say it sucks in this type of plastic and this type of organic thing and this type of whatever, combine those together and it makes another brand new turret for it to attack with.
So as you're fighting it, you're also teaching it, hey, here's new things you could do stuff with.
Yep.
I love plenty of great things in front of you. Again, go over and check it out. Also, if you haven't yet, after the campaign is over, check out other stuff that Severed Books does. You heard Jert mention a couple of it. You've heard me talk a lot about it. I know y'all just got a new print. I think did you just do a new print run of background generator book also too?
That's a consistent seller.
Yeah.
People love that one. And then Caver, I still got some Cavers left. Let's see, where is that dude? This guy, super fun series. There's 3 Caver books now. The latest one is the Mork Borg Caver book, which is really wild. So
I love it.
I could go on and on about that, but yeah.
But that stuff's all available anytime. Go back to the Kickstarter campaign first if you get a chance. And if you, like I said, if you haven't checked out Severed Books and the work that Justin and the team does, please keep an eye on it. Follow them over on Kickstarter and social media to find out when they have new projects releasing, because I'm always incredibly delighted by the work they do. Super excited to have y'all on the channel tonight. A couple things that we have coming up tomorrow. We have an interview with Linda Kodega. The Cult is doing a character study with Linda. They are going to be sitting down and creating a character in one of Linda's favorite systems that is Linda, and learning about them via that process. So come back over tomorrow if you want to chat a little bit more with them or learn a little bit more about Linda, this actual play and all of our other videos go over to our YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed over there, please keep an eye out for that. Also, Down We Go is in pre-sales right now, along with a number of other indie RPGs over on our website. One of the best ways you can support the channel is just going to plus1exp.com, picking up some alchemically bespoke beard balm. We've got a lot of really cool stuff dropping this week over on the site, so keep an eye out for that. But we haven't ever figured out a good way to end these streams, and at this point, we're probably never going to figure one out. So we're just all going to wave at the camera until I take us off air. And I always use this hand, and then remember I can't use the mouse if I don't do that. Jerry, we're all waiting for you to wave at the camera, so I can't take us offline otherwise. Bye.